you think about the role of class and economics? Congressman Lewis, I don't want each of you, then we'll open it up.
But back in 1964, 65, 66, during that period, the late A. Philip Randolph proposed something called the Freedom Budget. And he called for the government, the federal government and the private sector, the federal government, to commit billions of dollars to deal with the whole legacy of slavery, of segregation, and racial discrimination. And we didn't respond because as a government, as a Congress, because we were fighting two wars. Lyndon Johnson has said, President Johnson, said we can fight a war on poverty, and we can fight a war in Vietnam.
But you think the American people had the will to spend billions of dollars in effectively reparations for the historical discrimination?
Well, I don't think we ever made that commitment as a nation and as a people. The Congress didn't do it.
And it didn't emerge as a principal plank of the civil rights movement either, because you were so busy trying to dismantle de jure segregation.
You're right. It was trying to get the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act passed, and we just didn't follow through. And that's been Dr. King's last project, was to come to Washington with the Poor People's Campaign.
Yeah, March for Jobs.
And 63, March for Jobs and Freedom. But he was planning to take the problems of the poor, bring them to the city, bring them to Capitol Hill, to the White House. And he was assassinated.
Charlayne?
I think that's where Dr. King was heading. Not that he would eliminate race, because we still, we're not in a post-racial society. Some might disagree, but I don't think we are. And
nobody would disagree up here.
But that was where he was heading when he was assassinated. But I think that one of the problems we have, and we might have a slight disagreement about this conversation about race, but we'll talk about that another time. Because I do think we need a conversation. We're starting to have the conversation without even calling it a conversation, because we've got your series, we've got The Butler, we've got 12 Years a Slave, we've got, there's one more, the Birmingham book. But somebody, there has to be some coherence as these things are presented. And right now, as I speak now as a journalist, Sharon, all of my liberal friends watch MSNBC. All of the conservatives I know, all two of them, watch a Fox.
Could be the same word.
And the one place, and I'm not just saying this because Sharon is here, but the one place where you get intelligent news that can be used is on PBS. But we don't. How many people look? I mean, how are we? I know a lot of people do, but the conversation in America does not reflect that the majority of the people are looking at these programs that give them news that they can use. And so our information is corrupted to the extent that the statistics that you just gave, by every single measure, Black people in this country are the least of. You name the people in college, you name people on unemployment, you name people on food stamps, you name even the middle class. You said it's doubled, but so is the upper middle class. But this is not something that is presented in a way that people can get their arms around it, because they're only listening to what reinforces their own prejudices. Yeah. So we have to continue to fund PBS. We have to continue to have programs like the NewsHour, but we have to have more intelligent, enlightened conversations. And when we It's not enough to have the conversation about race. You have to talk. When I hear people having the conversation about race, it's what's wrong with white people or what's wrong with black people. It's not what you do about it and how you engage these people. And that's why we need a conversation. You will agree on it.